Barb.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, thanks for helping out on doing the editing of the video. You know, this is really a big deal. It's our 100th episode. Can you believe it?
No.
I mean, usually if we was on TV, they would cancel us by now, I'm sure, because, yeah. So anyhow, I'm thinking something really big for the intro, like fireworks. Can we do fireworks? Yeah, that's great. Fireworks. I like that. And you know, we need something more epic, like music, like a chase scene. Like, can you do a chase scene?
I think so.
There you go. That ought to get your blood moving. There's a quick 100 plus cars that's either been in Kleps Garage or we're going to feature in Kleps Garage or something like that. Anyhow, thanks for watching. As the minion said, ooh. Hey, this is our 100th episode. Can you believe that? Number 100? I thought for sure we'd be canceled by now. Anyhow, I'd like to thank each and every one of you. We're now over 5,000 subscribers. We're close to 600,000 views, which is phenomenal for this little channel. And I've decided I'm going to do a list of the states and the countries we're in. So next up is a short list. We're going to show all 50 states, top to bottom, in order of most views. Spoiler alert, Hawaii, you're dead last. You guys are going to have to pick up the old car bug. I know it's a little hard to get cars over there, but there should be a bunch left. You know, because they've been shipping them over. I don't know what do you do with them after you get done with them? Do they throw them in the ocean? Do they ship them back? That's a good question. Anybody who lives in Hawaii, I want to know what you do with your old cars. Anyhow, where was I? Oh, yeah, back to thanking each and everybody from all 50 states, and also we're in 70 different countries. YouTube will only show me the top 50, so we're going to roll off the top 50. Let's check out the credits. And thanks again. And we'll start the show. And today we're going to put an engine in a 1951 Jeep Wagon, just because, well, that's something to do. And without further ado, top 50 states, most views to least. Top 50 out of 70 countries, most views to least. So let's roll the credits. Lights, camera, and action. Hello, is anybody home? Did you ever notice the cars from the 40s and the 50s had vacuum windshield wipers and they never worked? Today's project, boys and girls, is to put that motor, a 4-cylinder overhead valve Jeep engine, producing a whopping somewhere between 75 and 85 horsepower, into, no, not that, into this thing here, a 1951 Jeep Wagon. But first, I got to put the flywheel, the clutch pressure plate, the pilot bearing, and the starter flex plate, steel plate, whatever, goes on all this back here. So I got to do that first. All right, well, the first thing I got to do is put a new pilot bushing on the flywheel. This is the flywheel. Starter engages this. This bolts to the back of the motor. Clutch and the pressure plate attaches to this. So you say, what's pilot bearing? Well, it's this little thing right here. It goes right here in the center. So this is the input shaft of your transmission. That would go on here like this. Actually, it would go through this clutch like that. Probably ought to get the plastic out of there first. That's some tough plastic. Look at that. So this goes together like this. Of course, this thing here would be bolted down. I don't suppose that'll fit on there. Anyhow, this goes on here like this. Pressure plate, clutch disc, transmission shaft goes in there like that. So, how do you get that out? Well, let's see here. I think I'm going to use Mr. New 4-pound sledge. No, this is a 3-pound sledge. And old socket will work, probably 11/16. It's just a hair smaller than this. Like that. So that come out the back side, down there in my little tube. And then we put the new one on. So I know. Alright, so I put a little squirt juice on there. And, yeah. I'll probably see if I can get this started straight. That looks somewhat straight. I'll put this on there like that. Could it be that easy? Yes. It's just that easy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take this hood off. I didn't take it off to pull the motor out. I just put a strap on it, ran over the top, tied it to the back bumper. But I need to do a little work in here and a little cleaning, and be easier to have this off. And I've already got this loose. I had this off to get the motor out, so I'm going to take this off. Normally you should have a friend help you with this, but this hood don't weigh all that much, and I think I could handle this myself. If not, it'll be YouTube follies. Besides that, the hood's got a bend in it back here anyhow when it's fixed. Okay, it is off the hinges. Now let's see if I can give myself a hernia or a heart attack or all of the above. Could it be that easy? Yes. It's just that easy. Barely even had to use this. Guess I'll leave that up there for now. Hey, I can see what I'm doing. Wow. See, a lot easier to get to everything now. Besides that, I got to get down in there and change that throwout bearing that's on the input shaft of the transmission. And I think next I'm going to push this thing outside and wash it off. Well, I got the first layer of oil and grease and crud off of it. And yes, originally this car was Sore Hands green. I used to paint cars in the 50s this green color. It was very ugly. I'll go into details of why it's now chili pepper red. Anyhow, I'm going to do a little bit more work to it and then put the motor in. I'll just do a quick 360 of what it looks like. So, old 51 Jeep Wagon. Believe it or not, I've actually, let's see. My dad bought this in 76, 77. He made me sand it all down by hand, painted it red because they was in a local shrine club. The shrine club had the red Jeepsters all painted this color. And this was supposed to be the beer wagon. It was supposed to go in the parades after, follow up everybody and haul the beer for the afterglow party. However, nobody liked the station wagon, so it never got in any parades. It did haul beer, though, because I used to drive this thing to school. This was my high school daily. And so it did haul beer. Thus, the name stuck, Beer Wagon. We drove this thing all up until about 10 years ago. It got 3 burnt valves. And to make a long story short, I'm just now getting around to having the motor rebuilt, which took 2 years, I think, to have that done, and just got it back together. Now it's ready to go back in. Wife wants to drive it to work this summer. So we're not going to worry about trying to paint it. Just going to get it running and driving. All right, well, it's another day, Sunday afternoon, and it's time to put the clutch back on this thing. I made a makeshift workbench out of my lift and my cherry picker to keep this from going anywhere. So I need to put this plate on. This is the, I don't know what you call this. It's a plate. Starter bolts through this, and then it also has a timing cover inspection hole. You want to keep this closed because I found out over the years that mice like to go in this hole and build a nest in there if the Jeep's been sitting outside. So hopefully when you find one, that is closed. So that goes on like that. I'm going to put some temporary bolts through here because the only thing that holds it on is the transmission. And this is kind of fun to get it down in there when you're lining everything up. But I'll just put it on here for right now just to keep it out of my way. And so I don't forget to put it on because that might make you mad if you go putting the flywheel on, the clutch and everything, and then forgot this, and then you got to take it all back apart. All right, so I pulled out paperwork on the engine, and if you look down here, it says flywheel, and you read through all this muckety-muck crap, you get clear down here to the bottom, and it says torque specs 36 to 40 foot-pounds. So that's what we're going to go with. All right, we can probably torque them down now. So I have Mr. Torque Wrench set on 40. And I'm going to use this here. Oh, I need to get my flywheel holder. Bear with me. Well, I got loose again. Yeah, I get my flywheel holder. One momento. So this is a handy tool. This is a Mac FT15 flywheel turner. I guess that's what the FT stands for. So you put this on here like this, and I just moved it a little bit there. Now, oh my. That seems like an excessive amount for 40. Maybe I should start out at 36. Let's get to, all right, I got spline juice on there that they give me, which remarkably looks an awful lot like anti-seize, which I'm going to put a little bit on the bolts. So, let's see here. Flywheel side, that goes that way. I got to run this through here first. Flywheel side. You always see me wearing these gloves, and you probably wonder why I'm always wearing these gloves. Well, this is one of the reasons why, is because you don't want oil and grease on these parts. And I learned a long time ago it's easier to peel these off than just clean my hands. So there, that's where this goes. I'll get the bolts. Well, they're right here. Anyhow, so that's on there. Well, I should have had the Jeep motor thrown in by now, but well, I got looking at the wiring harness, and it's got the old cloth wire on it that's, well, it's kind of seen its better days. And there was a lot of bare wire showing in places. And this was the harness going to the generator. It don't look bad, but up here where they all come out of the tape, that's bare. And this is bare. That's getting there. Anyhow, so I made up a new one tonight. Here's a new one, isn't that pretty? So this is high temp wire is what they call it. It's used for high temperature application, which I don't need, but this looks like the old cotton covered wiring. It's really, really close. So I'm getting two benefits. So I'd like to thank my subscriber, Jeff, who graciously donated me some wire over the last couple of years. This was part of it. So we're going to redo the wiring before I get the motor in there. I won't bore you with how I do all that, but this one's done. I've got a harness to go down to the overdrive unit and the main wiring, or the electrical harness. And I guess I'll redo it all. It's the joys of owning an old car. You start here, you end up over here, you come back over here, you go back over there, and you spend a whole bunch of money. Sometimes you can get off of not spending a lot of money. But still, 10 years later, you might have the car, drivable. Well, I said I wasn't going to bore you with the wiring, but my God, this has turned into a nightmare. What to do with these 4 wires here? So these wires go into the firewall. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There's one little short one that goes to the regulator. There's a coil wire. There's a temp wire. And then this went to the starter for a hot wire coming into the car. So that should be easy, right? Wrong. Let's go inside and look. I've also found over the years, since I'm getting older and don't bend like I used to, if you take the front seat out, it's a heck of a lot easier to get underneath the dash and look up at the wires. Let's let's look at the wires.
Hey, are you out here? I called you for dinner. Let's just see where he's at. You're sleeping?
What? Huh? Oh, hey, the doctor said that might happen. Hi. No, I'm just putting a second coat on now. Yeah. What's going on?
It's time for dinner.
Really? Huh. Well, I would come out here like at 3 in the afternoon. All right, this might take me an hour and a half to get out of here. All right, so I've got the black tape off of this harness, and I found that there's a separate taped harness, which is the 4 wires I'm looking for. However, they go this way, and well, they come over to this mess here. So I took the ashtray out so I could see better. Now I've moved the headlight switch. I'm gonna get this up out of my way. Oh boy, what a mess. Does have a circuit breaker on it. Woohoo! And I unhooked the heater wire that was in my way because, well, I don't need a heater in the summertime, but anyhow. So, what a mess. I guess I'll start taking off 1 wire at a time. If I don't go back to sleep since I was rudely interrupted. Well, I had this all under control. Now, here's something else that's nice. So, the 1 wire that I'm trying to follow is this green wire, and it goes back underneath and up and back around, and to make a long story short, it changes colors, I guess because of over time. See that? It's green there, and then right there, it's like the rest of these wires. It's all turned to the same color. So it goes up and around the harness and over to this thing here. So I guess I'll cut this and mark it or something. I'm not sure. I don't even know where this green wire. There's no green wires outside because, well, they've faded. Won't this be fun? I'm having so much fun. Really, I am. Well, I'm committed now. I got the 4 wires that go outside cut off from their various locations, and I have made a list of where they go and labeled them, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, I got the 4 wire harness out, and this was the engine side. This went to the voltage regulator. This went to the coil. This went temp gauge, and this was the main wire coming from the starter into the main body for power. So this had been repaired back in the day the way it looks. I'm just kind of, I unwrapped the tape. I guess it was okay just to twist the wires together and tape them up. So yeah, it's a good thing I'm changing this. You just never know what you're going to get into. There's the old cloth wires going. So got a 4 wire piece of stuff here I'm going to use, and it should be better, I'm hoping. Now into the 4th day of working on this wiring harness. Day number 1 was I made this harness here for the generator to go from the voltage regulator to the generator. So that's done. Day number 2, I spent making this cabling system here, which runs the overdrive unit. So this has a 3-speed manual transmission with an electric overdrive. This is the relay that controls it. The wiring harness comes down to here. You can see it or not. Ooh, it's going to be hard to do. Goes down here to a kick down switch, goes through the floor, and from that switch it goes on down to what's known as a rail switch, and from the rail switch over to a governor. So I decided to change all those wires too, and so that was day number 2. And then day number 3, as I took all the wires from inside under the dash to the outside that works the ignition system, and that's these 4 here. There's a white wire for the voltage regulator, there's a coil wire, there's a, well, I got that marked. I'm not sure what that's for. Yeah, I'll figure it out. It goes to something. And then I decided, well, I should just take out the wiring harness for the headlights because, well, when I was taking it apart, so here is a terminal block that goes from the core support, the headlight wiring, and then the headlight wiring into the Jeep. And these are supposed to be all insulated, not touching anything ground. I don't think this is, I think this is going to short out. Let's go over and I'll show you what the wiring look like. Like I said, I'm now on day 4. I'm going to go into day 5 because I run out of these little ends. I'm going to have to go buy more of them. So this is the new harness. Here's the original harness. This was the parking light, low beam, high beam for the headlights, and then oil pressure sensor, horn, stop light, brake light switch, which is what all these are. And these are the, what the heck are these? Headlight, low beam, high beam that goes to the floor switch. I don't understand. This is like 14 gauge wire. I went to number 12 gauge wire because, well, it's 6-volt headlights. They ought to have a little bit more amperage going through there. And then these 2 are horn wires. This one, one goes from the main power to the horns relay, and the other one goes from the horn relay down to the steering column up to the button. So here's the other, here's the rest of the wiring harness. I just got to finish it up and get it back in the car. I'll tape this up with black tape because that's what they did originally. And, well, yeah, wasn't that fun? Yeah. Okay. Well, so I've somehow managed to rewire the whole Jeep, except for the 3 wires that go up through the headliner and work the taillights. But, yeah, they look pretty good. I don't feel like tearing the headliner out. Watch the Jeep catch on fire. Well, it's the 5th day. It's actually a Saturday weekend, and I couldn't find any more of my parts for the wiring harness, so I went ahead and made the terminal block here for the headlights. So I used a piece of wood and countersunk these so they don't touch in the back. Put some hot glue on the bottom so no way they're touching the metal. And I like this a lot better. I've used this before on a lot of my cars. Works out really good. So since I can't get anything till Monday, I decided, well, I might as well just go ahead and put the motor back in. So I got the jack under the transmission. I got the motor ready to go. And, well, I think we'll just go ahead and put it back in there. With the cherry picker. See that down there? Let's try this now. This would probably be better if I had a helper, but I get tired of waiting on people, so I just do things myself. took a couple of minutes to reflect on my abilities here, I remembered that I needed to put a Phillips head screwdriver through these bolt holes into the transmission to line everything up so it would go straight in. I guess I forgot to do that. So now that I got the screwdrivers in there, let's let's see if it lines up any easier. This will be fun. Doesn't act like the spines are in there. Well, it's in there, now I just gotta hold it in place. I forgot how I used to do that too. It'll come to me one of these days. I think it's close enough now I can get the bolts in it. I got my bolt. If I drop it down in here, I'll have to separate the motor again. I won't be too happy, so hopefully we don't do that. You know, I had this earlier. I had to figure out how to do this. And show you guys at the same time. Well, there you go. You know, I could think of a few other things to do about right now. Fishing sounds pretty good. You know, this is harder than fishing. What the? Oh, I think I dropped it. Nope, there it is. Found it. Oh, it's almost there. It's so close, it's painful. Oh my, this is painful. Ooh, that was my arm. Jesus. Now, hallelujah. What if I can get the nut and the washer on there? You guys probably can't see that. All right, you want to take bets if I drop the lock washer and the nut down in this hole? Go ahead and place your bets now. But you know, I'm a brave man and all. I'm not that brave. Let's buy a little insurance, shall we? The handyman's secret weapon. Isn't that pretty? Maybe one more. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, isn't that cheating? No. No, it's not. I'll tell you why it's not. Because I thought of it. Little lock washer. And the motor could go back a hair farther because it doesn't have much there. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Ooh. Would you believe I got it to start? I hardly don't believe that myself. There. Could it be that easy? Yeah, sort of. I was having so much fun putting this in. I didn't draw it tight yet, but I forgot to put the motor mounts on, so I probably should do that now. I'm hoping I can get them in there. Yeah, that's what I thought. I remember this from the last time. These aren't fun. I should have had them already on the motor. See that? There's like a 1/4 inch there. I think I got the motor jacked all the way up too. Let's see. Maybe not. Can it be that easy? Yes, it's just that easy. Oh, I think I got a washer on them. That'll look factory. Where'd the nut go? Ah, nuts! Did you guys see it roll off that pan? Oh, I didn't hear it. What? You know, stuff disappears around here all the time. That's That's unfortunate. I'm sure it'll show up. What's right there? I guess I'll go back and watch the video. Pregnant pause. Wow. It's right there. Did you guys tell me that? I had to go back and watch it. It rolled right over there. That was pretty interesting. But now that I found the nut, I'm going to put some never sees. Yeah, this is only taking about an hour. Okay, I put a little never sees on that one over there. And I guess I'll put a little on this one here too. I think I'll do it the way I did the other one. I just put it on the, for God's, are you kidding me? Well, this one looks like it had more room than the other side. But no. That's a nice one, Luigi. What the hell is crap on here for? Now I gotta remember how this goes on. So they had a ground strap going to the, no. No. Had a ground strap going to this motor mount back here. I don't really remember how it was on there. Maybe. Don't look right. I saw that one. Well, let's take an intermission. I'll sort this out. Hey, I'm back. Guess where that washer went? Well, I'll show you. Remember that jack I had down underneath there? Oh, there it is. Right there. That only took 9 hours and 22 minutes to find that. Well, maybe not really. All right, let's get this back together. I did manage to get this cable back on where it goes. I put it on 14 times and figured out that this end's bigger than the other end. And after I figured out which end went where, why, it went right back on. How about that? Update, I've been working really hard here the last few days getting this together. I haven't really had time to film this because I've just been kicking butt. Got the new battery cables on, all the wiring harnesses on, hooked up, generator starters on, hooked up, and fan blade. I got to paint the radiator yet. And I got the wiring harness in for the headlights and got all the connections made. And today I'm working on the headlight sockets. So, of course, the wires were all crap, clear up to the sockets, and so I'm going to redo them. So these are the old headlight sockets, and I thought, well, I'll just go buy new ones. And so I went to the local store to buy some, and the wires that they had on the new ones were like, I don't know, 16, 18 gauge. They just weren't heavy enough. So I decided what I'd do is cut the old wires off, because they're like crappy. I thought, well, I'll just leave a little extra here and, just put the new wire up to there, solder it on, put some shrink tape on it, voila, new. Well, then I got looking, and these female connectors here are actually made to come out. They were a one and done install. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they just pushed in. Okay, I got this screwdriver shoved down in there, so what I did was back this up. Now I'm going to take another screwdriver, and I'm just going to push the whole thing out of there. Easier said than done. There it is. See that? All right, so I got all of them out, and I'm going to unsolder this wire, and I'm going to put these little clips on those wires I just showed you over there on the grill. Solder the new wires back on, and all I got to do is just push them in, and they'll lock in, and I'll have all new wires. So that's today's project. This is the parking lights. Now these, they unsolder up here, but I'm just going to solder onto here. All right, so I'm ready to put this back together. I have to check my my thing. So it's labeled here on the back. This says pass. Pass is high beam, ground, and driving. So back in the day, you have driving lights and you had passing lights, which was a high beam, and you have ground. So ground is black. I know that is because I remember wiring it up. So all I got to do is line this thing up. Ground, black. Shove this thing in. Hopefully it clicks. Well, this is going to be fun. I can tell that right now. I need a screwdriver. Okay, got it in. So there, all 3 wires are in their plug. Actually, this has got to go this way. All 3 wires are in their plug. That looks factory to me. You're never going to be able to tell that I did that. Now we're ready to put the headlight back in. All right, today's the day. I'm going to finally try to start this beast. I got everything put together. I went through the brakes, blah, yada, 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 whatever. Got antifreeze in the radiator, got oil in the motor. I've put a little juicy juice down here in the carburetor. I've run a vacuum up the fuel line to get fuel up to the carburetor, so as long as the fuel pump's working, you guys can look down there and see if you see bubbles in the what's that thing called? Yeah, the filter. See if that's doing anything. I put a battery in it that I know is good. Got a fire extinguisher ready, and I put a spark thing on the, see if I'm getting any spark, because I don't really know what's going to happen. So let's try it out. I don't know, hopefully this thing will do something. Tell right now the spark's too far retarded, but I don't remember which way I gotta turn this thing. Well, let's see here. I think it sounds better. The carburetor a little bit. I've let it run a good 20 minutes on a high idle to get the cadence broke in, and let it come back down to idle now. Temperature's fine, oil pressure's fine. This is going to make a great runner. I'm liking this. So I'm done with everything, putting everything together, got it running. Get the air cleaner back on it, got the horns back on it, got the new wires on them. So everything looks pretty. Now it's time to put that hood back on. If you remember right, I took it off by myself. Let's see if I can get it back on by myself. This will either be a colossal fail, or they'll say, wow, you can do that by yourself? Okay. Okay. That's probably the easy part. Now the hard part. How do you like that? Fits like a glove. Let's see if it opens. Dang, I forgot how to do this. And that's how you put a hood on all by yourself. Now let's take this puppy out, go for a drive, test out this new motor. Yeah, that was really great. Maybe at the end we could do like an explosion. Do you think we need an explosion?
Really?
Long day.
You have no idea. I don't know. Was that sort of off? We can't even keep the script.
We don't have a script.